forward on, mainly that fight bottom when they didn't have Chronosphere. I think that was like one of the only fights that really, in my opinion, held them back. Other than that, the game was pretty clean for the most part. So I thought it was a really good game from EHOME. They're up 1-0 now, one game away from moving on to the next round, which of course is against LGD. But we'll see, who takes the series if Aster can push this to 3 games. They end up banning the Rubik this time, as well as the Wisp, Lena, and Undying. It's Mars, and they go back to the Witch Doctor. So a hero we don't see through the group stage at all. Back-to-back picks here for Aster. So very interesting to see this hero. And now EHOME, they go to the Mars Phoenix combo.
Ooh. So obviously the only difference between the first phase bans was this Rubik being banned instead of the Mars. So EHOME obviously take the hero that got banned last time instead with the Mars, like you say. But yeah, they go back for this Witch Doctor Sven again. I mean, the heroes seemed like they worked really well together last game. It's just it was more the play of like not finding the openings that they needed to. I think the biggest one for me was this first Aegis timing. Like, do you remember that whole first Aegis? Like, they didn't do anything. Like, because EHOME were doing a really good job of splitting the map up and things. They couldn't ever find that pick off into like a big 5-on-5 push that they were looking for. So I think this Witch Doctor Sven, just because it didn't work last time, doesn't mean it won't work this time. We've got to reset, think about it again. But Mars Phoenix, I think this lane is so good in general. Like, up against Sven, Witch Doctor maybe a little bit iffy, but when they hit their level 3s, there's a lot of damage output there on the Phoenix Mars.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how Aster played this one, this time around. And I thought that that first Aegis, it was more like EHOME just playing perfectly. I thought they played around that first Aegis, and it was so well done by them that was something that really brought them back into the game. Because if EHOME take advantage, or if Aster take advantage of that first Aegis, and they're able to maybe take a fight that's advantageous for them, I think that game spirals out of control. They shut down the Void, and things get a little bit worse and worse for them, where they're down 7, 8, 9K. But instead, EHOME play that perfectly, and they find themselves in a good spot to kind of, bring the game back and ultimately win it. So I think Aster, if they've noticed those little things, like not taking advantage of the Aegis the first time and finding that first Aegis timing and everything, maybe they can come back into this game and, play it a little bit differently coming into this second game with with Sven. Oh my God. I just want to name other heroes because I'm tired of saying the word Sven. Anything but Sven.
This Chen, by the way, last game, although it didn't have a good time with its own item timings and things, I felt like there was 4 fights in a row just tanked a gank.
Yeah.
Like, in that first Aegis time, it just died, and it was like, oh, that sucks for X-Nova, but like, if the Void and the Zeus aren't dying, then they're probably pretty happy that their Chen's like, oh, don't worry, guys. I've got this one.
They've been in the Void this time, and I think that's a big thing to stop this Sven. Obviously, it's hard for him to jump the Void when they were playing around Chrono really well. So obviously, jumping out of the Void is a bit of a problem when you have no way to really avoid the Chrono if it's held up to the point where Sven gets in the face of the Void.
It's also much better this game, though, because they have Phoenix on their team as well on EHOME. So the Void ban, I think, not something they would have thought about before, but like that in conjunction with how last game went, definitely a big factor.
Like that Oracle ban as well. I actually like the Earth Spirit ban too, because despite the fact that Aster lost, I think Bobica played really well.
He did play really well. I'm trying to think of other heroes that they might value. Something like the Tusk potentially for Aster could come out here, or like some safe mid laner. I think could be another option for them as well. Oh, they go with the Egg Hitter. That makes more sense. Okay.
Go for the Mirana, which it's not there with the Mars. It's got 2 heroes that can line up an arrow for it with the Stormhammer as well as the Cask. But we'll see what the lane partner is for this Mirana a little bit later. I would presume that they pick their mid next, but that's not always a guarantee. Just the way based on how drafts have been picked out and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it depends, because it depends what EHOME pick next. Like, if EHOME pick a 5 here, then they might consider picking their 3 as what they want to lane up against, like the 5, but they could also just pick their mid and then have the good off-lane matchup last. Yeah, they're going to go Venge. So it makes you think about Venge Drow already, right? Like Venge Dusa, Venge Arc, like we've talked about. Oh, Venge DOTA. But Aster now, I think they have to be thinking about like we probably need gap close for some hero that the Venge is going to be working with. So like these blink stun heroes, and it has to lane with Morana as well. I'm going to say it again. I love Sand King. I think that hero is amazing, but against heroes like Drow, maybe not so much.
I thought you were gonna say Venge Juice again, but yeah, I like the Sand King as well. Leshrack's still available as well,
Ooh.
so that hero doesn't. Ooh,
Oh,
XXS on the axe, and this is one of his
cool.
better heroes. I know I say that about a lot of heroes for a lot of players, but yeah, there have been some clutch moments with XSS on this axe.
It's okay. It gives them what they need. I think it's the most important thing, which is the catch. Like good thing to follow up with the arrow lanes well, Morana. I'd be really interested to see what they pick here though, because I hate to say it, because I think it's a decent Deuce game. I think it's a decent Drow game. Arc Warden maybe not so much. It's okay. Like it'd be really difficult for Aster to ever go high ground. And I know EHOME do like playing the Arc Warden. SCCC is a good Arc Warden player.
Yeah, he's a very good Arc Warden player. What do we think? Is it going to be the Medusa though? Are you putting your money on Medusa?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Place all your bets. Close your bets. See if you win your money. Chat predictions really quickly before this pick happens. Do you think it's going to be Arc Warden? Do you think it's going to be Medusa or Drow? 1, 2, or 3 in respective order. Go.
It could be. I imagine it's something else. They're just the top three that come into my head straight away. Oh, it's TV. TV.
You're all
Venge,
wrong.
yeah.
You're all wrong. Everybody's money gets held by the house.
The house always wins.
Oh, yeah.
Who was it that played the TB Venge last time? I can't remember who it was that we saw this tournament. I completely forgot about that.
I'll take a look because there hasn't been many TB games.
I don't know, it looks like a good TB game already. But it's the same thing again in the sense that Sven should hit his timing quicker than the enemy carry. Can Aster make the most of it this time and actually find an opening and find a way of finding this big fight early on in the game?
It was actually Aster who did it, and it was with that mid Lycan.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That was the everybody knew that Lycan was coming.
The famed mid Lycan. Do you reckon EHOME do it as well then? Is that what you're saying?
Against
No,
this lineup? No, I don't think so. Again, I thought about it for a second. I'm like, could they?
No.
But against this lineup, it just doesn't feel that good, right?
Freeze isn't on their team either, so that's the big difference. Well. I could see them banning Storm though this time on EHOME.
Mm-hmm.
I think you want something that protects your two supports in the backlines. Let's ban out something that can jump like your two supports in the backlines. Because you have like this double save effectively in the Venge Phoenix with like Sunrain with swap and everything as well. So like jumping this TB at the moment is really difficult past 25, 30 minutes. Especially when you've got like 3 heroes that protect him really well. I'd like to see them pick up another hero with damage output though on EHOME into sort of like the last pick. They need some like early game like damage dealing. Like maybe like this Queen of Pain or something, for example, right?
I feel like this odd feeling they're just going to pick Storm Spirit on Aster again.
Yeah, they could do. I like the Viper ban. That's really good against Axe Sven.
Does OD seem good at all for Aster?
Yeah, it's okay. What other like magic damage is there that they could go for? They go Puck. That's cool, and it's different. I like that. So the Puck's really good. It's very elusive, this game. It's the only thing that can really kill it at the moment is like a Yules on the Morana into an arrow or a Blink Call that he doesn't dodge. Yeah. So I don't mind this though. I think they have really good team fight. Like they are very reliant on this Terrorblade getting good farms so he can carry them going to the late game. But it looks like a good Terrorblade game as well. So they need some magic damage on here on Aster to be able to get through this TB at the moment though. Like that's the big question for them is can they find that right hero for them? Because like I know the Zeus has been banned, but that's like the classic hero to help deal with the TB.
Yeah, that late ban was definitely exactly what I was thinking.
maybe like more for Aster, but it doesn't feel good against Puck either. It would be really greedy. I feel like you want more like early game tempo to like fit this theme of your draft that you have so far. Okay.
They go with Shrek. Okay. I like that.
So their lineups are really good in the early stages of the game. They can push buildings quickly with the Lesh and everything as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if the game does go late, I think TB does okay against Lesh in the sense that you're going to get this like Dragon Lance, you're going to have the Avenger attack aura. If you get a Skadi against the Lesh, like the movement slow just destroys that hero. So for EHOME, it's about whether they can enable SCCC this game and like fight 4 versus 5 long enough. I think Chalice has to have a good start to this game as well. If Chalice doesn't, and he dies a couple of times, maybe for instance, like to this Witch Doctor Sven, then I think their game's really difficult. Because the Puck, although it's like really good at controlling these early to mid game fights, it doesn't offer a huge amount of damage output. Like people are going to go raindrops, people are going to tank up a little bit. Axe is probably going to go Hood, for example. So I think they rely, if SCCC's farming, the XM's not going to deal enough damage by himself.
Mm-hmm.
I think I prefer Aster's lineup though. Even if they didn't really hit their timing last game.
Yeah, I kind of like this lineup. We'll see how Freeze does on Lil Shrek. I feel like this is one of those heroes that you can really shine with. Lil Shrek and Sven. Just, I remember that guy on Reddit who used to make like the covers for all the patches. It was like magazine covers for all the patches. It would just be like Lil Shrek on his hind legs and Sven behind him or something like that. Nah, the two of them are picked up just about.
Just Sven.
Okay.
Just iconic for this patch. The Sven patch, I think. Sven versus PA in Europe every game at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. PA's a hero that we've seen a little bit less of here. Mm-hmm. Still every now and then, but not quite as popular. I wonder how XXS does in this offlane against the TB though as well. I feel like he should be okay. I mean, obviously meta's really annoying for him to deal with because he only has 2 armor, but even so. I feel like the China teams are much more like the level 1 warding feels like a bigger thing than in any region. From what I see, in terms of like making sure they try and mind game their opponents with the mid lane ward and stuff. We see this sentry on the cliff all the time and things on the Radiant side. The game feels like a little bit quieter, but I've seen so many of those little plays this tournament.
The battle begins.
Stormhammer and the Chalice.
Yeah, the arrow missed, unfortunately. They tried to time it so when the cast bounce hit, the arrow would follow, but it kind of threaded the needle between 2 heroes. I imagine Bobica stays for another first blood attempt here before he TPs away. Oh, Fade tanks the arrow, so Chalice doesn't get hit. That's really well played. I'm surprised we didn't see them try and do it the other way around, where they bring the Witch Doctor top, and they like do this thing where they try and kill the TB when he's popped meta for the first time.
Yeah. Arrow. Being on Axe Nova, he's got the Battle Hunger on him.
Fine.
Never in doubt.
South gets popped, he's okay. There is a nice block on the camp though, on the small camp. And you can see X-Nova's done exactly the same thing on the big camp, so Bobica can't arrow the big creeps in the neutral camp.
Spoil that shot.
I think when Axe hits level 2 in this lane, it gets a lot more difficult for the EHOME side. They need to be really careful that the spin doesn't just like take them by surprise and just start like running them down almost. Because Venge isn't the strongest lane support.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to watch out.
(13-2) already for Sven. Wow. But am I really shocked that Monet's getting that much?
I like that Lanham didn't take a point in heal this time as well, though. I think hitting this level 3 with the level 2 Maledicts is even more important than this lane than it was last game. Because like Fade, especially on the Phoenix, has to be so careful because when he uses spells, like it costs him HP as well. So if he's losing that HP during Maledict, he's even more likely to die.
You think he's going to go to the 102?
Yeah.
Or do you... Yeah, okay. Yeah, because
sure.
I think this lane... Definitely more opportunity than the last one, right? He went into the heal early. It was looking like it was more so sustaining just to keep Monet alive and himself alive a little bit easier.
Yeah, because it goes the other way in the sense that the Mars and the Phoenix are going to be really strong when they hit their 3 as well, which is... Mars is just at his, Phoenix is about to get level 3 as well. So there's going to be a lot of explosive action down in the spot lane. How's XM doing on the puck? He seems to be doing alright. Yeah, he's doing really well actually against the Lesh.
21-12-0 from the Leshrac. Trying to figure out what can Freeze do a little bit better. Witch Doctor taking a lot of damage.
Chalice though as
but
well.
It's Maledict that gets the first blood. Icarus dive. Lanham might burn out here and will, but the Storm Hammer, is it going to be enough damage to kill off Fate? Can he chase? He won't. Just give it up and continue to farm the creeps instead.
They get the first blood on Chalice though with the Maledict, and this is the second point that we were talking about. It makes this game really difficult. And now every time he comes back to this lane again, if he gets level 2 Maledict, the Sven's turn on top. He's got to be very careful. He's got raindrops queued up, but hasn't got them yet because he wanted to get the bottle first, which is fair enough, but he needs to get those raindrops as quickly as possible, really. There's a double damage on the puck in the mid lane. So when he hits this level 6, the Lesh might have to be a little bit careful here.
He might go for the Lasher. He might even move to a different lane.
Because like puck has really high natural damage anyway, but with the double, like you hit surprisingly hard. Yeah, he just denies a range creep from half HP, so he has the DD.
But we've seen Leshrac at level 6. Like, he may not be having the best of times right now, but once that Leshrac hits level 6, he can kind of run at these heroes if he's, if they're not too careful.
Yeah, of course he can, but yeah, the Phoenix is coming over here. They really want the the Lesh knows something's up though.
Dream Coil used. He'll turn for a second. He doesn't have 6 yet. Wave of Terror behind him as well as the Silence. They get the kill on to Freeze, and Bobica coming over puts him in trouble, but he's able to leap onto the high ground and get away.
Yeah, that didn't even look like it should have been that great though, right? Like they kind of forced that kill so hard. He almost got under the tower, but they get the coil off in time before he does. XM really dominating this lane now though with the level advantage as well.
Stormhammer. And now they've got the Maledict, Sunray, but it doesn't look like they'll have the damage. They've got Axe Nova over here. Magic Missile thrown as well as the Spear. Lanham taking a lot of damage. They get the kill on Axe Nova. They'll lose Lanham. See Maledict not really deterring this Mars at all.
Yeah, look at the axe though as well. He has a Vanguard. This guy does not care. He wants to keep his catapult alive as long as possible here to try and like get this tier 1 down.
What's XSS doing? He's got the Vanguard already. Happy that he's got that farm, eh?
No, he's doing really well. But the Vanguard first time against TV means it's like impossible for him to do anything to the axe. They've brought the puck over though.
And is there anybody here to help?
So
They've got
tanky,
Lanham
though.
nearby. Cass coming through, but it's not going to matter to at least go on to the puck. But they still get the kill on Axe Nova.
And that relieves the pressure on the TV's lane a lot. But the thing is, again, the Sven's still farming really well. Like, he's doing a good job. But like the puck, really great rotation by him. Like, again, it's the same thing. Fade takes over the XP in the mid lane, while XM makes this really early rotation. It feels like they're always... I mean, Fade's always taking this mid XP at like the 7 to 8 minute mark, it feels like.
Yeah.
Every game.
Radiant's
that.
middle tower is under attack.
We saw it last game with the
Dire's
With the
top
Rubik.
tower is under attack.
Don't mind me.
Broom handle picked up.
8-minute
Arcane
ring.
ring. You passed that arcane ring over to Shrek.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah,
is
you want your
under
Lesh to
attack.
have the neutral item here.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Axe is taking the top tier 1 as well. There's nothing really the Dire side can do about this. The only thing is maybe Phoenix TPing top, but even if you dive away, you still just get chased down by this axe.
Bobica comes over. The spear's going to land. They'll have the magic missile to follow this up. So they'll kill off Bobica. He TP's in. Kind of at the wrong time.
Radiant structures are
Unknowingly to him, but Fade was making that Icarus dive right by the tower. They spot it and they get the kill.
I wonder how long this axe wants to stay in the top lane as well. Like, obviously you want to keep pressuring the top, so, you know, it's where TV's probably going to be playing a lot of the time. But it'd be interesting to see if they try and defend their bot tier 1 with an axe TP. As you see, like, the Lesh at the moment. Ooh. Except
I would
seems to smoke.
say maybe just until he gets the blink, farm that up as much as he can.
He's quite far away, though.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh,
is
strength
under
Coil?
attack.
It's just on the Lanham though, and he gets the Maledict off onto this puck.
Arrow?
Look at the arrow to hit. Now XM's in a little bit of trouble. He'll try to phase shift and survive, but look at the Diabolic Edict. They're taking a lot of damage on this puck. They'll get the kill on XM. Really well done there by Aster, as it was an aggressive Dream Coil onto just Lanham, but it doesn't get them much.
Ooh.
Coiling Blade onto the Courier. That means they're able to chase. Arena's down, but the spear misses. Cast bounces. They get the kill on Axe Nova. They'll take it a second. They'll look for more. But Sunray on Lanham, as well as SCCC making his presence felt, means Bobica, Lanham, as well as XSS are going to try and retreat a little bit.
Oh, wow. Really well played by XSS there. Blocks the spear so that it doesn't, like, carry on going forward onto Lanham.
You going to try and get this tier 1 tower still?
Yeah, with the meta, they should have enough here. Lanham's just going to TP away, and the other two heroes are going to
Radiant's bottom tower is under
slowly
attack.
slip out into the darkness.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Oh, the
Radiant's
courier.
courier has been
Ooh.
killed.
It's got the Ogre Axe on it.
And he managed to sneak 2 bounty runes on the puck as well. So, I mean, this Lesh isn't having a great time. Like, there were some stacks being made in the top jungle before, but the Sven took them. And this is a conversation we've had before. Do you remember where it was the Sven TA?
XSS. Ooh, Moonlight Shadow.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, do you remember we had the conversation when you have these 2 cores that both want to farm the jungle? I think it was Sven TA before. They
Yeah.
kind of, like, step on each other's toes a little bit. And it feels like the same with Lesh and Sven. In terms of, like, taking these stacks and taking safe farm.
And there's the earn finish on the Phoenix. Almost boots a travel finish for the puck. I almost would rather XM grab the Blink Dagger first, though.
Yeah, maybe, but the boost of travel is really good at the same time for just, like, playing the map really quickly. It's not like an amazing Blink game. It's not like he really needs it against, like, a Storm or something, right? He should be able to just run in and coil somebody if he needs to. I actually would have thought he would have gone Veil instead of anything else first this game. But, like, especially when you have a Phoenix and a Mars on your team that do decent magic damage as well. But the BOTs is nice.
A little bit of a lead for EHOME overall. Blink Dagger pretty soon for XXS.
Yeah, when he gets that blink, the Lesh and the Axe need to play together. Oh. Arcane Rune for the
Snaps
puck.
the Dream Coil, but they didn't really want to go in on the Leshrac. They're going to get the kill there on Aladdin, though.
I really hate that when you spear and then God's Rebuke on Mars, it like still pins them to the far wall, even though you've interrupted it yourself with God's Rebuke.
I don't know if you even should be like interrupting it if you use God's Rebuke,
Well,
right?
the thing is, you don't interrupt it because they still get stunned up on wherever they would have been hit with the spear.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under
Like, they
attack.
still hit like the back wall, for example. Which is why it's actually okay to do that.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Okay,
You
so
know-
Echo Saber for Monet, Blink Dagger for the Axe. Could be a moment for them to make a move, right?
Radiant's middle tower is under
yeah.
attack.
They need to play around the God Strength and find something at least. But again, how much does it feel like last game where Aster, they have this lineup that should be playing for in front, but this time, they don't have that mid hero that's having the same okay start. Like Storm did okay, he didn't do great last game, but Freeze on this Lesh is really struggling. Like he's 1,000 net worth behind any other core on the Dire side.
So it feels like it's not exactly the pace I'm expecting from a Leshrac, but at the same time, it's only just 13 minutes into the game.
Oh, these
Maybe I'm
TB illusions are
thinking
going
that
to
it's going to go too fast.
Oh,
Dire's
they like
middle
committed
tower is under
smoke
attack.
and everything there to try and find a kill with the Axe Blink reveal.
Out of my way.
Bottom, looking over at XM, and they've
Oh,
got the winning rift,
Sven
so that's
as
the
well.
silence out of the Witch Doctor. Can they get anything here with this? Sven back over mid, Supernova is used. They get the kill on a Monet. They look over at XSS. There's the Sunray. Do they have the damage before he TPs out? There's the swap, so he won't be able to do so.
That was
Fate
That
now
was-
dominating.
That was really well played by EHOME. Like, the Mars was sitting in the trees, while the Sven was just hitting this tier 1 without a creep wave. And it just comes in, drops to the arena, they fly in, drop the egg at the same time, and great swap by X Nova at the end stops that egg from dying to, like, the last hit of the Sven.
They're
Excellent.
also fighting bottom, too. It was kind of split to start.
Yeah, what happened in bot lane? Because I missed that completely.
Yeah, so I was missing mid because bottom, you had XM
Oh, the
playing aggressively and fighting, but and then
X-Nova-
I guess he TP'd over mid.
X Nova found a double D ward as well. There was one on that high ground in the Radiant bot jungle, and then there was one just below their small camp, and they got both of them.
Dire are scanning.
So now Radiant are playing so blindly
Radiant's
into
bottom
everything
tower
here.
is under attack.
Arrow hit Chalice.
And do you remember we were wondering whether they'd be able to activate this TB enough by like finding space for him and everything? The hero that is supposed to be dealing with the TB is this Leshrac, who's so far behind. So at this point in the game, as long as TB's just like gets to this Scardy BKB point in the game, I don't really know how they're going to deal with him, because Sven with like this high physical damage is okay, but TB has naturally high armor.
Oh, XSS, he missed the call. They've got the Dream Coil down onto this Mirana. They get the kill on Abobica. Now they'll look for more, but jaunts over in the Illusory Orb. XSS,
Yes.
blinking 4-3. Is he going to find him? But he goes into the trees. Did he miss XM there? I'm not sure if he had the vision.
He
Was
didn't see him.
Just out of his vision?
Yeah, he didn't see him. And that's the BOT movement speed advantage. And now he has the blink as well on XM. They should probably smoke here and look to fight while God Strength's down, I'd imagine, on EHOME. They like have
they wait
meta and
till
everything
Dream
as
Coil?
well. Say that again, sorry.
Should they wait till Dream Coil's up, or can they
They
make
could
a
do.
move?
Yeah. Or XM.
Cask, phase shift. And the blink to the side, actually not too far away from this fight. They've got the spear that's going to hit into the Witch Doctor. They get the kill on Aladdin. They'll look over at Monet, but there's the Moonlight Shadow coming out. Should be able to escape, and no chase from EHOME.
I like that they brought everybody over though. SCC TP'd as well. Just make sure you commit to that fight in case something more breaks out. And XSS had this really good start, but again, they haven't been able to find any openings. It's the same as last game. gets this blink at a great timing, Vanguard at a great timing
Dire's
before
middle
that,
tower
and
is under attack.
it's just falling flat on its face almost here.
So one of the things I want to just note, just because we've seen a lot of Svens and we've seen a lot of
Radiant's top
carries
tower is under attack.
struggle to keep up, is we're seeing Terrorblade ahead of the Sven. Usually we
Yes.
see cores like 3k behind, but Terrorblade not the same. He's ahead.
Radiant structures are
Yeah, I
fortified.
mean, I think the big difference was when the Sven died in the mid lane, though. Like,
Radiant's
TB
top tower
is yet to
is
die
under
this game,
attack.
right? And he's just been able to freely farm the jungle the whole time. And TB
Radiant's
does
top
farm
tower
quickly.
has fallen.
Lesh? Oh dear.
Might die here, yeah. He's going to drop to XM as well as Fade. They use that Dream Coil. Having that Waning Rift, just being able to get on top of him, as well as Sunray at level 4, burning him out.
Fade's played incredibly well this game, I think. So it's definitely my EHOME MVP at this point. 4-0-4, like, feels like he's just involved. Like, he's always in the right place at the right time. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like that mid lane kill on the Lesh before, really early on. Ooh, there's a DD that spawns bot. Does XM take that? I wondered if they might give it to the TB, but...
And this is going on to the point I made in the last game. It's like Fade's having such an impact from the 4 position. I never really feel like the 3 to the 4 on Phoenix feels that great.
My problem for Aster here is that I don't know if you get back into this game by farming, which just seems to be what they're doing on all 3 cores at the moment. I think you have to carry on playing around this god strength and finding like openings all the time. They might be waiting for the Sven BKB, which is fine. Like, that's good, but I don't know. In that time, that the TB's almost going to have Skadi. He might have finished it at the same time. He's only like just over 1,000 gold away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now, let's see if we can get into the Scotty quickly. They're going to go for the tier 2 tower over bottom, and I don't think you can defend if you're
Dire's
Aster.
top
At least not
tower
for the
is
moment.
under attack. Dire are scanning.
Just the way that they're positioned, the way they're trying to farm, doesn't look like they're going to try and defend it either.
Radiant's bottom tower
I know,
has
this...
fallen.
I feel like Threes hasn't done anything on the Lesh this game except farm and, die a couple of times. It's just... Whereas, I feel like a lot of the Lesh games we see, they just start running at lanes at like 6 minutes into the game, right?
Yeah,
remember
he's
we
behind in
saw-
net worth too, like by a lot, right?
And that's my point. I don't really understand what... I personally feel like his job in this game is to make the TB's game as horrible as possible. Oh, they are going to find SCCC though.
Yeah, can they get the kill onto him? The swap is there, nicely done by X-Nova, but is it going to keep alive SCCC? He starts to back away. They've got the Supernova coming out as well as the Spear onto the Witch Doctor. They get the kill on Alanum. They'll end up trading 1 for 1. Looking over at XSS, make it his second. There's the Supernova popping. They'll get the kill on a Bobica with 3 heroes down on the side of Aster as they'll take out the Sven, making it a 4th. Monet falls, and the only one to get away from this is Freeze. Very good fight there from EHOME.
Yeah, they tried to commit really hard onto SCCC with the Sven BKB, but yeah, as soon as that swap comes out, the coil goes down, it becomes really difficult. Sven tried to chase the TB down with his BKB duration. As soon as it runs out, TB pops asunder, and Sven's just is gone.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And now there's the Skadi out on the TB as well. I appreciate them trying to make something happen, though. Like we said, I don't think they get back into this game by farming. They have to try and find openings. They waited for the BKB, they try and take the fight. Unfortunately, they run into the Venge sitting behind a TB.
Roshan has fallen to
And now, I think game's incredibly difficult for them. So yeah, back to the point about the Lesh, though. I feel like, you want to run at the TB's jungle over and over again, right? But I don't know. We didn't ever really feel like we were seeing the Lesh and the Axe like join up together, right, and like make things happen on the map. They just waited for the Axe to get blink before they like made any plays. And I think you're giving the TB too much space and time if you're waiting for those like item timings.
Yule's dagging for XM. He's played really well this game.
Yeah, he's played. I mean, XM's played incredibly well. He's like, I mean, playing against Puck in general, That hero's so elusive and horrible to deal with. Like, again, they're going to run into him with a smoke here.
Call on the 2. Stormhammer, this might actually go well for Aster. They get the kill on XM as well as Nova. Now they'll look over the Terrorblade. The Battle Hunger's on him. They'll try to chase. They've got the Arena coming down from the Mars of Chalice. They can receive over. Supernova to the left. Bobica burning out from that as well as the Spirit Vessel. They get the kill onto the Mirana. They get the kill onto this Egg. No, Monet's going to try and take it out, but it's just by himself. So now Stormhammer thrown out of the Terrorblade. They've got themselves the Death Ward onto the Terrorblade as well. From Lanham over to the side as Triple C pops the Manta. He's staying alive. He's got the Thunder. They get the kill on Monet as well as Lanham and take out XXS. Fade with the triple kill. GG. And Aster get 2-0'd by EHOME and knocked down to the lower bracket.
Aster looks so tilted,
Wow.
dude. Like, do you know what I mean when I say that? Like, the Sven's just running an egg by himself with, like, that's going to explode relatively soon. I think he was like, he must have made a call that they need to try and kill the egg before it explodes. And I think they kind of, it feels like they're not on the same page in the fights. Like, really good initiation, though, by the Axe, we just say. Like, and then the follow-up Split Earth from the Lesh. But, yeah, I don't know. It feels like they're just... They're almost not on the same page, or they're just deflated almost, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's also something I talked about to start this series, was how much of the chemistry was there, how much of the communication was there with Freeze coming in so last minute. You know, does that break down?